all in or nothing, everybody. Let me just first say that doesn't mean go all in on crypto, take the risk, go crazy. But I just recorded this whole video, which you're about to watch. And I went for a walk with the family, and then I told my wife, I'm like, I'm putting it all out there. It just clicked for me. I'm not like walking some gray area between bull market, bear market. Even with high fear, everything that's going on, like I'm pretty bullish. And I'm putting it out there as a content creator. There's probably some like reputational risk that comes with that, but I really hope that you can appreciate that I'm kind of like sticking to my guns here, and I'm trying to back it up by data. And I hope you all realize that for me, I'm in this zone where I know that I could be wrong. Maybe we enter a bear market right now, and I could be wrong as a macro bull right now. I'm managing my risk though, but I've concluded that we are early in crypto, and even if we fell into a bear market, I will be here building and I will be here accumulating. I think things are so undervalued. I think we are ground floor still, and that's after almost 8 years of content creation. And for me, it almost is like all in or nothing. I'm here. I'm not gonna be thrown off track, especially when we're in these higher high, higher low dips. We get into these high fear environments all the time. All in or nothing. And it's kind of my personality, and especially most recently, even in my faith in Jesus Christ, I feel like the Lord has brought me to this place where it's like, it's all in or nothing with my faith. And that is the most important thing. Crypto means nothing when it comes to that. The eternal, my relationship with Jesus. And I encourage you all to turn to Jesus, because that is all that matters, your relationship with him and knowing him, believing in him, what he's done for you, what he's done for all of us in our sin. When it comes to crypto, it's just like, for me, it makes the most sense. And all in or nothing has gotten me in trouble as kind of an entrepreneur or investor in my earlier days, because you can imagine how that can get you in trouble. But as a macro investor and getting into crypto, the game changed for me, because you can be a macro long-term investor in a just undervalued space, and you can manage your risk. And that's what is so important. And my neighbor just got a shout out in the video. Everybody, and that's what it is for me. So as you watch this video, as you watch this bull case, please just keep that all in mind. I mean, because that's where I'm coming from. That's all this is. I'm just tracking the journey, everybody. I'm just really doing my best here, tracking the journey, being upfront with y'all. So shout out to you, enjoy the video, and shout out to my neighbor. God bless. How many times have we been here, everybody? We're in another high fear environment. It happens all the time. Bull markets and bear market lows. We're here right now, but I want to say something. It's been quite some time, years, since we've been in a high fear environment while being at the precipice of the end of quantitative tightening. This contraction phase that we've been in for years. And by the way, the beginning of quantitative tightening years ago is what signaled the beginning of the bear market. We're getting the opposite of that right now. We're about to step into, I just saw Deutsche Bank calling for, I think, December, when quantitative tightening will be announced to be coming to an end. So we're entering quantitative tightening coming to an end for the first time in years, after years of contraction, years of suppression, liquidity just being sucked from markets. And you know what, by the way, even in that scenario, Bitcoin has gone on to all-time highs. Many altcoins have, and altcoins in general have been in higher highs and higher lows. But now, quantitative tightening coming to an end, and people are so bearish. And that's fine. Everybody has a right to their own opinion, but I am opposite right now, everybody. And I want to put that out there. I know I've been doing videos nonstop talking about why I am very bullish right now. I've been trying to document this, but I want to do this video to explain something to you. First off, nobody knows what's going to happen. And we're going to talk about more of these signals, bullish signals on the macro, everybody. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But as I sit here and do these videos all the time, I'm well aware that being the macro bull that I am, I could be wrong. I know I can be wrong. And maybe we're entering a bear market right now. But my approach to this market is, even if that were to happen, I'm balancing my risk with that potentially being the case. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm balancing the risk. We have to balance our risk. But put that aside, now that my risk is balanced, I'm creating bullish content because of everything that's happening. So we've been in this quantitative tightening phase. Jerome Powell the other day said, in the coming months, that will be ending. Do you know how bullish that is? And right now, as we're entering, I got a little daylight left. We're entering just this interesting season of stagflation. That is, inflation has been a little bit tough to get under control, right? There's a lot of mixed reviews on that. But while that's happening, the economy is just, there's not a lot of growth. So we're in this weird environment. But when you introduce to stagflation, interest rate cuts, do you think smart money, big money, all of these institutions and everybody that's been accumulating altcoins even on all of these dips, it seems, you think they're going to be sitting in cash when interest rates start coming down? And by the way, even on the short term, end of October coming quickly. We're in the middle of October right now, end of October coming quickly. Do you think they're going to be sitting in cash and low yield accounts? This is why we're entering a very bullish environment for risk on assets like crypto. Crypto has been suppressed for years. We've been in contraction phase for years. And speaking of that, speaking of altcoins, the government shutdown right now. Not just altcoins, the Clarity Act. We're in a government shutdown right now. When this ends, all of a sudden the SEC is back to work. I'm trying to get in the light a little bit. The SEC is back to work. Altcoin ETF approvals come into play after we're capitulating and falling. Record-breaking liquidations just happened, and we're going into this, we're testing previous lows again of that capitulation. We're maybe putting in a higher low, I don't know. But all this fear, the fear's going crazy right now. All of a sudden, the clouds will pass like they always do, and we enter this macro environment that is so good for risk on going into the rest of Q4. Again, I know I could be wrong about everything I'm saying right now. My thesis could be completely off. And I know there's analysts that are showing just maybe some macro momentum signals, and I get it. There are some, you can always find indicators that are bullish or bearish, because there's a ton of bullish ones too on the macro. But if you put aside technical analysis and we start really dissecting the environment in which we are in, and you start kind of, for me, planning from a macro perspective, from that perspective, I am quite happy for years, even though it's not been 10, 20, 30, 40x gains, like clockwork, like every cycle. I'm happy that I've been positioning myself. And I'm not ready to turn into a bear on the macro right now. When I am, I'll do videos on it. But with that being said, all of that being said, it's about balancing risk. It's about being ready no matter what happens. And I will tell you one thing. If these floodgates start opening, do not be surprised to see crypto start going kind of crazy. And only time will tell. Nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. Be careful out there, everybody. I wanted to kind of just do this video bringing things together. That Deutsche Bank calling for December is nice because Jerome Powell didn't really put a date on it, so to speak. He put, in the coming months. Now we have, December to look forward to. So we'll see how that plays out. But keep an eye out on all of these things, everybody. Gold topping out right now, going crazy. Maybe not even topping out. This is what preceded previous bull cycle. Gold getting into overbought. All of a sudden, it finally started consolidating. And what happened next? Crypto took off. Go look at the charts. September, October, November 2020. What gold was doing, and then that transfer to crypto. Go look at the charts, everybody. There are so many things lining up right now. And the best time to pay attention, the best time to prepare is when things get chaotic and everybody's all fearful and bearish. So let's see how it plays out. I wanted to do this very quick video because, I'm in here thinking, man, everybody's getting so bearish. And I'm not quite sure now is the best time to be doing that when we look at the fundamentals and we look at the macro, what is happening right now, not to mention a bullish Fed chair going into 2026, I think in May. So keep that in mind as well. It's not just interest rate cuts in October or even the rest of this year, but going into 2026. Crypto's been suppressed. Where's all that capital going to go if it doesn't want to be sitting in cash and low yield accounts? We are entering a new part of the business cycle that we've not seen since last bull cycle. I'm just trying to prepare for it, everybody. That is it. Appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like if you enjoyed the content. If you're not in our intelligence system with our risk models to prepare for the move, if we get a parabolic move, if it happens, you'll have a really good idea from a data-backed perspective when to sell. Get into our risk models. And on the flip side, we enter a bear market, the very low score, low risk areas, when to accumulate. So appreciate you. We have a free trial going on right now. Join our members. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.